What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are at about $114,000 right now. 11 hours and 5 minutes left in the day, and it is the third day of August, by the way. We are looking like we want to bullishly engulf yesterday's candle, which is very validating to the notion that we found the low. We got a lot of validating things to the idea that we found the low today. That technically it would have been today. This was the low. We back tested our prior resistance point, smack dab on the head, and we're having a positive reaction so far. Don't get too excited. We have 11 hours left in the day. It's a lot of time for things to come back down. We absolutely could. Bitcoin could eat this all back and then produce. We're up 1.3% now. We could come back down. But on that note of being up 1.3%, last Sunday we were up 1.27%. The Sunday before that, we were down, but we had a little bounce. This was our low point area here, and then we actually did start to move up over the coming days afterwards. The Sunday before that, we were up 1.4%. The Sunday before that, we were up 0.9%. The Sunday before that, we were up 0.99%, like 1% itself. And the Sunday before that, we were down 1%, but we had the low achieved that day and started to recover as well. So Sunday being a really significant day for these pivotal moments in Bitcoin, whether we're range bound or we're at the base of a range itself at a bottoming point to move up higher. The fact that this is happening on a Sunday, I feel like just in hindsight, of course it would be. You know what I mean? But coming down yesterday, Saturday, we closed here at about 113.3K on Friday. I think that if we close here today or higher, that will provide a gap up in the CME futures. Let's actually double check that real quick. Bitcoin futures. I forget what it is. BTC Bitcoin futures. Yeah, just CME. Let's go to the daily time frame. We'll zoom it in. Oh, come on. I just want this. Okay, that's not what I meant to do, but whatever. So here we go. We close at 113.5K with the current price. I would assume that the gap does happen, right? 113.5K. We're at 114K now. Yeah, so we filled that gap just to form another gap. A lot of people were waiting for this gap to fill, and it looks like they got their demands met. We do have a gap to the upside now at about 117K that we have to fill. Do we have any other gaps? I don't see any other gaps. No. We do have gaps to the downside still. We've got this gap here to fill. We've got this gap here to fill, this gap here to fill. There's no other gaps on that way, but there's even more gaps, coming down here. There's a gap right there on a closing basis, and then we wicked down, but we didn't fill that gap. There's a gap right there too. There's all kinds of gaps, you guys. So just because we have a gap doesn't mean that we have to go down. Just because we close up today doesn't mean we have to go down tomorrow. It could, it could mean that, but I doubt it. We kind of already have a double bottom here. If anybody's waiting for us to double bottom off of this prior resistance point, you might have to keep waiting, man. I don't think that's what's going to happen. So just be aware. And yes, China bans crypto or whatever. We've got nuclear threats with Russia and the United States. All of that's not to offend anybody with their soft feelings, but all of that's just a distraction, guys. All of that is a distraction. There's not going to be a World War III, or it technically is already happening, right? As I've actually discussed with some people, it's been happening since the Cold War, man. We're already in World War III is fought not with soldiers and boots on the ground, but it's fought through financial means and through espionage and through all kinds of stuff, backdoor stuff. That's a whole different conversation. But we've been in constant competition and conflict with each other around the world for a while now, and there are places that are warring right now with boots on the ground. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to belittle anything like that, but I'm just saying. If anybody's biting the fear narrative here, man, you're really putty in the hands of the media right now, and you probably panic sold the bottom because a lot of these negative stories only happened over the past few days. And even if it wasn't the bottom here, just remember, not but 3 days ago, the low point that we had for about 3 weeks there, the low point was 115.7K, and that's when all this negative news really started to come out. So these negative news stories, they don't happen up here. Right? You remember up here what happened? It was nothing but positive news. Positive news stories don't happen here. They happen at the top. Negative news stories happen at the bottom. Yes, okay, we got it, right? So we've then, with all this negative news, likely hit the bottom. Beyond just finding support here, beyond potentially, we have 11 hours left in the day. Let's see, potentially engulfing yesterday's candle. We also have negative news. It's like 3 bottoming signals in itself. Okay, the crypto fear and greed index is at the lowest reading that it's been since we've seen new all-time highs. I mean, even before then, I'm pretty sure. Let's actually look at that. I'm pretty sure. Come on now. By the way, shout out to Justin Sun. Justin Sun and the gang. I mean, maybe not his gang, but just the gang of astronauts with blue origin. Why is it not? I have to click on profile. I wish I could just click on my profile picture. That messes with me because on my phone you click on the picture and then it works. Whoops, I'm not trying to go to highlights. Yep, he went to the sun, guys. They landed. They touched back. You can rewatch it if you want to, but they touched back and they're all good. All right. Anyway, shout out to Justin Sun for going to the sun. Bitcoin looking bullish as hell. It's going to go to the sun. Screw the moon. We're going further. We look at the 1 hour time frame here. I mean, don't screw the moon. The moon's a beautiful thing, and we need it. But looking at this here, there's almost the. I suppose somebody could make the interpretation, and I was thinking about this last night. Whenever we were at, what price was it? We were like around here. I was looking at it, and I'm like, this could be an inverse head and shoulders pattern. That could be. I mean, the volume profile is nice. It's literally perfect for it. If this is an inverse head and shoulders pattern, at the moment with this high here and this high over here on the left shoulder, it would have to be a slanted inverse head and shoulders pattern. And if that's the case, that's fine. You know, slanted inverse head and shoulders, we get this trend line here. Typically, they're very parallel, so we would see, you know, from this low, we'd get a very parallel low, something like that. Still a higher low, but if we were to come back down, you know, you would expect the right shoulder typically to be shorter than the left shoulder. So I would say that the right shoulder here, let's see, the right shoulder started forming here. I mean, it could be shorter. Yeah, if we see some volatility, if we drop all the way back down to about 113K, we're at 113.9K now. Wouldn't that be crazy though? Because we have 11 hours left in the day. What if we did that? If we did that, we would hopefully do that really quick. We'd get that done in the next like few hours and then move back up by the end of the day. Because I really do, and who cares what I want, but I really do want to see this day engulf yesterday. I think that'd be very validating to the idea that this is the low. But it doesn't have to be an inverse head and shoulders. It really doesn't. And so far, it kind of has that aspect to it. But at the same time, you know, looking at this just for what it is without that thought of an inverse head and shoulders pattern taking place, and it could be, again, if it is, I think we'd look to bounce around like 13K, something like 113K. Or the days of 13K are done, you guys. But with that also in mind, you know, just looking at it without the perspective of an inverse head and shoulders pattern, you do have prior resistance here, or support there, prior resistance here as well, right? And you're kind of grinding this area. You wicked above it, found resistance, came down, came back up. You're grinding this area, you guys, which, you know, you should be rejecting at least, right? You're having a more positive reaction than we had back here. I would say we had, you know, obviously we had a positive reaction here, but then it gave back. Let's just see if we can. You know, 57 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. A lot of these green candles on the 1 hour, they've had wicks to the downside. So here I think there's a lot of people probably adding shorts. I wonder, I would assume. Let's just see over the last day. Actually, there's a lot of longs being added right now. And I mean, for good reason. We've probably found the low. A lot of those longs get liquidated. Wow, they get liquidated below 113K. So I think they're safe, personally. I don't think these shorts, though, you know, at 114.2K, you're very close to getting liquidated. 113K is about $1,000 away. 115K is $1,000 away. We move $1,000 to the downside, we're not really liquidating any longs. We're liquidating like 150. We have to move down over $1,000 to liquidate $160 million for the longs. We move up under $1,000 here, over $1,000 for that. Under $1,000 gets us nearly 830 million. So you tell me, what's at more jeopardy? And that's just over the last 24 hours. Let alone over the last 30 days. We look at this, the getting just gets good at 115K, guys. It keeps going. And we're on a war path. And the thing is, again, just so that we understand how this works, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, shorts, people think that they need to be squeezed in order for us to grow in value. But a short squeeze implies like liquidations or taking losses. a lot of these shorts are in profits, and whether they get liquidated or they just close their positions and take profits, that's going to have the same effect, right? Because they're going to have to, through getting liquidated or through closing their positions on their own volition, they're going to have to buy back Bitcoin in droves, right? These leveraged positions are going to add a lot of buying pressure, and that's why these short squeezes have such immense upside potential. I mean, if we look back at this area, we've moved up very fast before in a very short 1 hour. In a 1 hour time frame, we moved up 1.1%. Right, we saw an incredible amount of growth in a very short amount of time. We go back over here. I mean, in this area, we've moved up very fast before. Go back, I guess, I mean, right there, we moved up 2.6% in a 1 hour time frame. Right, I remember that pump, man. That was glorious. We can absolutely curtail this whole idea of a slanted inverse head and shoulders and break through this area here. We haven't even looked at the indicators yet. 1 hour RSI is seeing some stronger readings than we've seen, all weekend since last week even. Looking like you want to get into the overbought zone. Nice higher low dynamic there with lower lows in the price. Bullish divergence. Stochastics are overbought and showing a very bullish reading in the overbought zone, right? Whenever you get consistent readings like this in the oversold or the overbought zone, that tends to be whenever you're doing your best work and moving up. If we look at the MACD here, look at that, guys. Oh, that's the final piece of the puzzle. Yeah. The oscillators, these lines here, right? They're crossing above the zero line right now. They might be. They could reject here, and as long as we don't see some kind of move down right now, I think that we could avoid rejecting the zero line. But even if we do reject the zero line, maybe we move down to 113K and then we move back up, right? Something like that. That would be my expectation. It wouldn't be too crazy, but typically whenever you start seeing this kind of stuff, you do get through it, but you can reject the zero line just above the zero line. You don't. So we're not out of the woods yet. But the fact that the RSI has yet to be overbought, and the stochastics look like this, and the MACD looks like this, and then with everything else we've talked about, and man, on top of that, all the negative news pertaining to anything really, but also specifically toward crypto. Yeah, I mean, hell, guys, Justin Sun, the bad boy of crypto, he just went to the freaking moon, guys. He's coming back with his moon mojo, and he's bringing it to the crypto markets. Okay, it's happening. 4 hour time frame. If we're looking at this here. The RSI did have, and this is what convinced me that we were at the low, was the fact that we had bullish divergence here, right? Higher lows, lower lows. I had one guy trying to give me crap. He's like, it wasn't the low, haha, because I called for, wasn't it this price? Whenever the low is in, I made a post on x.com. Let's actually see. I've got that here. It's probably my most recent post. Let's see. Right. Oh, it's not my most recent post, but right here. Yeah, August 1st. This is after we hit 112.7K. You can see it was just below 112.9K there. So right there, I was saying I think that we found the low. So 112.7K was where I thought the low was at. We went down to 111.9K. We didn't even drop $1,000 from where I thought the low was. And some guy's like, ha, it went lower. It's like, ho, you got me, buddy. Oh, this asset's worth $112,000 and I was off by less than $1,000. Oh, you got me good. I'm terrible. I'm really bad. By the way, I actually I went long very near this low here. I closed my long out at the top, and then I went long again down at the base there. Like quite literally, and I actually added to my long position. So I went long here originally, but then I took some gains and I actually added to it whenever we were at like 113.4K. So it averaged out. It's a little bit higher, but whatever, man. I don't care, man. It's not a big deal. But I'm just saying I could have gone long. I could go long right now, and it's still gonna work out. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big, and not financial advice. Not a financial advisor. Do not trade. Do not leverage trade. Just hold your positions, please. Don't be doing anything stupid. Don't be doing anything stupid, man. Just hold. It's too easy right now to make money in crypto for you to be trying to complicate it by trading at all, right? Just let it do its thing. Just buy and hold. You have no business trading, whoever you are out there, okay? $114,000. If you want to learn, that's cool. But if you're trying, what you should do is start with $100. If you could take $100 and turn it into 1,000, there you go. Well, you have $100,000 to your name, $1 million to your name. I don't care. Start with $100. If you piss that away, you want to gamble again, start with another $100, but don't do anything. And if you're, if $1,000 is a lot of money to you, maybe $100 is just a one-time experience until you have enough money to like do that again, and like wait till you have like 10K or something. I don't know. But I'm not trying to convince people to start leverage trading. I'm just saying if you want to, because you're a free person, you can do whatever you want. Don't do it with a lot of money, right? If you're successful, you can start with $100, and then like 5 years from now, you can have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. If you're that good at it, right? If you're bad at it, well, you'll piss that away very soon. Less emotions with less money, less risk with less money. Okay, in a very risky atmosphere, there's no need at all. You have no business life trading your life savings away. Okay, just whoever you are out there, if you need to hear that, you're in the right time in the markets to just do nothing stressful. Leverage trading is stressful, you guys. Trust me, it's very stressful. Holding is the opposite of stressful. It's kind of stressful at times, but it's really not that stressful. You can sleep. You're not waiting for prime setups. Anyways, let's get back to work here. 4-hour time frame now. But yeah, that one guy got me good, guys. That one guy got me good. That was not the low. Nope. Yep. Man, I was very wrong. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, man. Bullish divergence, signaling that was the low. Stochastics, not really bullish divergence, but a double bottom crossing up. Typically with the stochastics too, you get oversold, you get overbought, you get oversold, you get overbought, you get oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought, right? You don't typically do this thing where you'll come up and then reject, unless you're in bearish, very, very bearish circumstances, but typically you range. So just looking at this here, I think that we're going to continue to grow into tomorrow. Yeah, maybe sorry. Oh, my throat got really dry. It like choked me out right there. Maybe tomorrow we pull back as we have over the past few Mondays, but maybe we don't. Maybe we just keep ripping through. What is wrong with me? The MACD is cross green. Stochastics look good. RSI looks good. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Look at this from a high here, connecting the dots down here. Even if we were to stop at this trend line, we have higher to go. Higher to go. Absolutely. Going up to the 50, above the 50, that'd be bullish. I don't know. We don't have to move up in this fashion, right? It can very well, the price can very well, or the RSI can very well hit here, come down here, find a higher low like that. You know, we can dilly dally. It can be some time before we get into the overbought zone, but I would think, you know, at this rate, that'd put us into not tomorrow Monday, but the following week's Monday. I don't think it's going to take that long. I think that like Tuesday or Wednesday we'll be up here, so we should be moving at a nice pace, and when we get up there, we're looking for readings like this, consistent readings in the overbought zone that allow for continuous growth, right? The more that you get overbought, notice this, right? You got into the overbought zone, out of it. Once you got into it again, just notice how much more powerful the movement was, because it's the relative strength index. To produce relatively strong readings, the overbought zone versus relatively strong moves, you have to see relatively stronger moves. Does that make sense, right? So here, and it gets stronger as you go up. So getting in and out of the overbought zone is really good. You want to consistently stay in the overbought zone. I'm hoping and thinking that's what we're going to see here soon enough. 114.06K right now, daily time frame. Looking at this, bouncing right off the oversold zone, an area that we found support at the last 2 times. How we even found support at this area more than that, right? Right over here, a little bit lower there. We found support a lot in this area here. We're a little bit on the lower end, but still in this general area where we find support. The time before, we found support right here. The time before that, we found support right here. What was it, man? There was something. I can't believe I forget what it is. This is why I love doing TA the way that I do it, because I don't save charts. I just like to do it freeform. What was it that we did? Was it the stochastics? Was that what it was? Let's look at the because the stochastics coming up like this, right? And with the RSI bouncing. Hold on. You know, from the low to the high. Maybe it's on the 4-hour time frame. I can't remember what it was, but that's okay. But 10% up this time, okay? This last time, and that took us 1, 2, 3, 4 days to achieve. Here from the low, 1, 2, 3 days later, we were up 10% as well, okay? All the way dating back here, you know, from this low. I guess we could take this low, because that was probably the first low that we were at. No. The RSI was actually at the low. The RSI was actually at its low, bouncing on this one. So we'll take the low from there. 1, 2, 3, 4 days later, you're up 14%. I mean, 3 to 4 days later, guys, 10 to 14, 15%. More than that. Hell, five days later, you went up even 15.3. We'll say 4 days to keep it in that 3 to 4 day range. Here, whenever you bounce off the oversold zone right here, from that low, including this day 1, 2, 3, 4 days, 11%. All of these more than 10% in a course of 3 to 4 days. More than 10% in a course of 3 to 4 days. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, however many days that is, right? Including today, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Let's even go to 5. 10% or more puts us at new all-time highs. Let me say it again. Bouncing off of this area in the RSI, at least the last 3 times, I'm sure we could even go, or 4 times, I'm sorry, the last 4 times that we've bounced off in this area, which we're bouncing off of now, we have very similar readings in the stochastics as we have before. We're actually even more bullish in the MACD than we have been before. 4 times in a row in 4 days to 5 days, 3 days, 5 days, somewhere in that time frame, 10% to 15% growth. Including today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days from now is Thursday. By Thursday of this next week, we're either at new all-time highs, which is the likely outcome, or we're at least skimming our all-time highs, which is also very probable. 123K is right here. We're not even, we're eating most of this range up. We're liquidating about $15 billion in shorts, but we'd probably keep pushing past that. I think we're going to new all-time highs, guys. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. And if I'm right, we should be moving up at a rather decent pace. We should be seeing a movement that's more or less like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of growth, man. Fa la 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 la. That's what we're getting, man. It's going to be great. 7 days of growth coming at you, or 4 or 5 days of growth coming at you. That should take us to new all-time highs. Now, when we get up here, what we might do is something very expected. If you've been in the Bitcoin markets for a while, this is my 3rd cycle, so I've seen this happen before. You'll get up here and you'll have a look of a double top, but really what you're doing is, oh no, we're forming a double top. This means it's over. We've done this before. We know how this goes. Tariffs are here, blah, blah, blah. Like, who cares? We're not going to have a double top, man. It might have the look of a double top, and then over the weekend or something, we consolidate, we touch back at prior resistance for support, as we just did here, and then we continue to run the following week, right? If I'm wrong, it's only because instead of that, we've just moved up at a very fast pace and had no regard for stopping anywhere, having a detour. But I'm not trying to be exuberant. I'm trying to be realistic. So prepare yourselves for anything. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we did find resistance up here, came down, cleared out some longs, piled on the shorts. We got a double top, and then that's fuel to the fire to the upside, right? Where are we going to go once we go up from, I want to take this high to low, actually. I want to take this one, 1618 down to the 100. By the way, guys, this fib, if it wasn't enough, this is a beautiful and very strong look. I'm gonna shake myself. Strong. It's it's very strong. It's a very strong look. I don't know why, guys. It's the morning time, man. Very strong look, bouncing off the 100 like this, right? Typically from this area, you would go down to the 886. Or maybe even the 786. But bouncing off the 100 like this and like this, bouncing off of it, if we bounce here or move higher, ideally higher, this is a very powerful look, and we should be moving up, not to the 1886, that's the next target area, but at least the 2272, and likely the 2618 and beyond, right? So the next target area is anything from about 132K to 147K. Okay, that's the next target area. When are we going to get there? By the end of this month, probably. Is that where we're going to stop? Probably not. We're probably going to go, again, we'll find resistance there, consolidate back, whatever, continue to rally. We'll probably continue to go all the way up, I would think, to $180,000. That's where we're going to go. And at this point in time, I am starting to think it will be in the beginning of September. If it's not the beginning of September, maybe the end of August still stands a chance, but something in this area, 160 to 180K, I'm thinking we'll be at 180K and likely in the beginning of September. With that, you should see altcoins topping off or finding their next point of resistance. And whenever I say topping off, I just mean like a consolidation like this, not a consolidation like this, right? Smaller consolidation here. We'll go up to 130 to 140K, 150K, consolidate much the same way, and then continue to rally. Altcoins should top off sometime in mid to late September. Bitcoin tops off first, altcoins top off a week or two afterwards, or sometimes even a month afterwards. Some altcoins will top off before or at the same time, but just generally speaking, okay? Bitcoin's coming back down a little bit. Come on, Bitcoin, move back up. You know you want to. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I will see you on the next one. And, you know, again, if we do move down to about 113K, inverse head and shoulders pattern, it's okay. It's a good place to buy the dip, actually. All right, take care. Bye-bye.